Hello, what is up? It's Paradise Found channel, and I'm Uncle Milton. And welcome. We're just gonna have a chill and chat. I'm gonna play some videos of Josh's Zenit Atlas and see if I can invite some people in. Sorry, I broke my I lost my glasses in the surf, so these are my. I gotta get some. They're coming 2 weeks. So, but enough of my face. I'm going to play some of Josh's stuff.
And I'm going to go down to the water and film Boston. Right over there. How you doing today? All right. Right down to the water. So I'm going to stand up. So this is eye level. I'm about 5 feet. There's Sean. Earth is flat. It's not a globe. We're not spinning. And there's Boston. I'm going to crouch down. So I'm literally flip this screen on the Nikon. Literally putting this down 6 inches from the water. So I'll get home. I'll see how far away we are from Boston. But we can see the whole city. This is Flat Pool, and I am out. On the P900. Yep, there we have it. I'm seeing boats below the shoreline way across Lake St. Clair. And I'll be uploading this footage. This fisherman, you can see that entire sailboat is underneath the opposite shoreline. And I'm going to get even lower. I'm going to put this bad Larry so that it's getting wet. I'm going to get my P900 wet for you guys. to show you that that entire sailboat is underneath the opposite shoreline. Oh, the waves are ruining my focus here. See, that boat's too close. It hasn't fallen into the dip yet. The concavity of the water, which you can see that entire boat right there. Sorry, folks, I'm doing this by hand. That entire boat is underneath the shoreline. Whoa, big waves. Just got me wet a little bit. There it is. See that sailboat? Pow. Underneath the opposite shoreline. Earth is concave, baby. I was wrong. It's not flat. I am right on the freaking water. All right, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a 360 at this altitude so you can see exactly where my camera is. Right here. 3 or 4 inches above the water like I claimed. The earth is concave. I love you all. Joshua James Boliero. I love you. All right, I found a good boat to film way out over there. I'm going to show that this is my camera altitude right here. Just about 3 or 4 inches off the water from this step right here. So I'm going to place this camera right here, and you guys can watch me. You guys can watch me get this footage. Hopefully, maybe I'll do a practice run. Not really sure what you guys can see from this camera vantage point. Can you see this? Can you see me filming this? I think you can. I think you guys can watch me film this boat. Way the F over there. My camera altitude's about, I don't know, ballpark 4, 5, 6 inches. I'm going to press record on the P900. Yep, there we have it. I'm seeing boats below the shoreline way across Lake St. Clair. And I'll be uploading this footage. This fisherman, you can see that entire sailboat is underneath the opposite shoreline. And I'm going to get even lower. I'm going to put this bad Larry so that it's getting wet. I'm going to get my P900 wet for you guys. To show you that that entire sailboat is underneath the opposite shoreline. The waves are ruining my focus here. See, that boat's too close. It hasn't fallen into the dip yet. The concavity of the water, which you can see that entire boat right there. Sorry, folks, I'm doing this by hand. That entire boat is underneath the shoreline. Whoa, big waves. Just got me wet a little bit. There it is. See that sailboat? Pow. Underneath the opposite shoreline. Earth is concave, baby. I was wrong. It's not flat. I am right on the freaking water. All right, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a 360 at this altitude so you can see exactly where my camera is right here. Here's my camera altitude, but nothing. There we have it. Yet again, boats below the opposite shoreline. See that boat closer is a little bit lower than that boat further away. This is very difficult to do by hand. Get it done. Again, just to prove my altitude here, just right on this angled rock.
Pablo, you still there, mate? What's up, dude? What are you doing, my brother? Long time. I was just I was actually just over there looking for you. That's funny. You came over. I was just over there at 247. I was looking at their channel there. Did you see that I got on there the other day, my brother? Did you see I got on 247? Yeah, it was really cool. Oh, they were really cool to me, dude. There was man, I forget what the guys. I posted it on my channel, but really good interaction. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with that Discord, and I was just like playing with it. I was just playing with it, and I pushed this button, and some guy came on. He said, "Paradise found." I said, "Hello," and he goes, "Do you want to come on?" Or what? No, he goes, "We've been looking for you." He goes, "I've been waiting for you to come in. I remember you. I remember you from back in the day." Yeah, and so it's really cool. Let me talk forever. Go on, dude. What is your keyboard broke? Come on, work with me here. Yeah, I'll start the video back up. Might be busy.
Pow, underneath the opposite shoreline. There you have it.
No worries, bro. Man, I was just saying, what's up? How you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I was just saying, I was just over there, kind of looking for you in the flat Earth 247. I just said hi to Winter and over there, Winter. And did I tell you that I was trying to tell you that I got on there? Sorry, I broke my glasses last week. I mean, I didn't break them. I lost them in the surf a few days ago. But yeah, I got in the 247 chat, or I mean, in the Discord. I don't know what I'm doing, but I was just pushing some buttons. And then all of a sudden, someone came on and said, Paradise, you want to come in? I was like, yeah. So I jumped in there, and the dude was really cool. I'm trying to think of his name. What's his name? But I think he was from like Arkansas. He was like, I remember you from back in the day. I've been trying to get you in here. I was like, what? Is this the same place that I came in before? And he's like, yeah, no. He let me talk forever. It was pretty cool. You still there, mate? Yeah. So I got in there. Yeah, and it was good. What have you been doing? I'll play this video and you can keep up and chat. Yeah, I think it was surprising, mate. I think it was really surprising. He was like really cool. And man, he let me go for a long time. He even like protected me, you know? Some French guy came in, and some French guy with bad arguments, he came in, typical. Concave is stupid, he said. Concave is stupid. Oh, I downloaded it on my channel, so if you want to watch it, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, bro. It was cool. It was such a trip. I didn't expect to be. Really didn't expect for him to be so nice to me. I was man. That dude's cool. I'll rock with him any day. What have you been doing, dude? Okay, chilling. That's cool, bro. I know about regular hours. To even catch some of you guys, I gotta like start at midnight. So I can't do it that much, and it's been a really freaky week. Really, yeah. It's pretty rough. And Josh's funeral was today. It was amazing, man. Josh's funeral. I mean, I hate to say it, but it was amazing. Man, Kitty and Ernest got up, and you know, and they laid it down for everybody that I believe that Josh is going to be, looked at in a completely different light. I don't know, someday or whatever. And I really pray for that day to come where, at least this kid could, say, hey, my dad stood for something. He did really care. And yeah, so it was kind of a rough week, man. But no, it's been actually, for me personally, it's been a pretty good week. Trying to learn to surf, which is ridiculous. It's good. I got a ways to go, but yeah, it's really good exercise, and I dig it. And oh man, and so my first day in the surf, right? Very first day in the surf. No, I've been in the surf swimming and shit a lot, but My first date, like, fucking around on the surfboard. I paddleboard and shit, but this is my first time on a surfboard. And I see a shark. Oh, like fucking A. It's like right when I got in the water, I'm like, it looks pretty. Go to my girl, it looks pretty sharky out there. And then she's like, oh my God, there's a dolphin. That ain't no dolphin. Tripping. Fucking shark, a little one, but but then I pushed through the fear, you got to push through the fear. You hold yourself back, if you're scared of looking stupid, yeah, stop worrying about looking stupid. You're holding yourself back. Get out there and get some. It's a beautiful earth, beautiful outside. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. It's turning winter where you're at, huh? Paul, I can't stand winter, bro. It's shitty time of year. It really is. I mean, it's got some shit going for it in America around this time of year. Got Thanksgiving, of course. Christmas is nice to have a little winter Christmas, but yeah, they could have it. I want to follow summer for the rest of my life. So hopefully my crypto will blow up, and then then I could just fly in between Vegas and Australia. Yeah, bro. How old are you, Paul? Yeah, rest in peace, Josh. How old are you, bro? You're near the ocean, man. They surf in Ireland. Sure they do. Yeah, you just wrap up. I know, but I don't know what's going on here because I mean it's beautiful here, but I don't know. No one comes out in the winter here. It's really weird. Oh, you're young. Oh yeah. Yeah. Do they surf in Ireland? Are you by the ocean? Yeah, I've seen them doing some surfing. Well, anywhere there's some ocean, I'm gonna get some waves. Yeah, so it's been a good and bad week. Dolphins won today, so I was pretty happy about that, man. Yeah, Dolphins won, and I uh, I just got done making a video exposing the Freemasons' biggest secret. Yeah, straight from Albert Pike's mouth. I don't know, man. YouTube. If you even mention anything like that, they put a kibosh on the video. It's already like got a trigger warning. Yeah, you wait for the storms. Yeah, totally. There's this one dude. Oh shoot, I think I got somebody here. Hang on a second. All right.
Hang on one sec, buddy.
Wow. Cool. It's Mr. Neil.
How you
Neil,
doing? How you
bro?
doing, mate? You all right? I've just got your link.
Cool. Yeah, I was just sending it out just in case you want to come in and say hello.
Yeah, well, I did say that we'd catch up at some point, so
That's nice.
I do appreciate it anyway.
No
How you
worries,
doing,
bro? How you been?
Well, riding the wave, aren't we? At the minute. How about yourself?
Oh man, it's been a strange week, with Josh, and so yeah, it started out pretty rough, but yeah, it's pretty good. I've been outside. The weather's beautiful. Been at the beach trying to learn to surf. Yeah, so all that part's been really good. How's things at your end?
Yeah, pretty much keeping busy. I heard about Josh as well. I think it was Craig that told me. I think he took it pretty hard. He'd helped him through a lot of stuff. Been a good friend to him. It was part of the group. I'd never really spoken to him. I'd seen some of his. Was he under some? Was it Zenith Atlas?
Yeah, that's Zenit Atlas, absolutely.
And I know he's putting a lot of information out there, and I think it just. Sorry, we should say this time. I think it comes as a bit of a shock to a lot of people.
Yeah,
And it hits home with how much people are struggling.
It really, really nailed me because I was getting like, I've been getting pushed lately to, to do something, because I haven't published anything in over 5 years on this channel. And I don't know what it was, something was just telling me, if there ever was a time to step up and start speaking your truth, Sean, whether, whatever, it's like, it's going to be too late to even say anything with the whole everything that's going on. So I started my channel, and God was pushing me to do it. And I went and did it. And then the first person I wanted to talk to was Josh, because as you know, there's a lot of kind of weirdness with this subject, right? That it kind of around the whole, people are very leery because of the LSC thing and the whole, all this pooky spooky stuff. And I really wanted to talk to Josh because I know Josh is very brave and strong about, because I kind of got freaked out about like people are going to jail and different things. And
what for talking about it?
I don't know for talking about it, but just, like, yeah, for saying some stupid things online for first place. And then, just, yeah, it's kind of, it's pretty deep, right? When you think about the whole thing. And yeah, I kind of got a bit spooked, I would say. And I just kind of want really to focus on myself. But yeah, something was really pushing me to, just to stand on my truth. And I wanted to talk to Josh. So I've been reaching out to Josh like a month ago, and we were having long online discussions on this channel. And pretty much, man, I probably got 10 hours of Josh just in the last 2 weeks before it happened. And I don't know. It was funny because I was just asking him all kinds of questions, we were just talking for hours and hours. So
did he give you any signs or anything?
I wanted to just
something you'd notice now if you thought about it. Or not? Or did you just
no. He was, man, Josh was just always really like, straightforward and cool and really good to talk to. And he just kind of was hanging in there talking to me. And I would be like, you don't have to stay here, because my channel is not super popular. So you got a couple people, but, like, and he'd just hang in and we'd play his footage and just chat about just all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so I just been, re-uploading videos and getting back in it.
Well, you've definitely been putting a lot out there, Sean, and this is the first time I've ever took part in a live with anybody, and it's
so
we're all trying to put information out there, but I've never done anything like live with anybody, so I feel a little bit suppressed, to be honest, because I've got to see, researched a hell of a lot, come to a certain understanding about who we are and where we come from and where we live. So
when did you run across the subject? How did you discover it? What can you tell me about that journey?
Just trying to think, actually. I think it just all started off from an injury where I was pretty much bedbound, and I had no choice but to kind of go within and start asking questions that I'd already had in the back of my mind anyway, like how the fuck did we get here, and what are we doing on this planet. And going back to when I was at school, I was always zoning out of the sculling system. When you get
You sound like
Are
Sean Milton.
you concentrating on what are you looking at? I was looking out the window, or my mind's elsewhere, and that kind of thing. And I remember we did something at school in one of our science lessons where the TV gets pushed in to the middle of the room on the trolley. The Betamax, the VHS goes in, and there's all this kind of stuff about space and the planets, and I was like, what? It just didn't make sense. I remember it just didn't make sense. And at the time, I think I was about 9 or 10. I had a little car washing round, and just remember one day walking up the road to go and wash the cars, and they weren't in, or they hadn't got back, and I was just kind of sat out on the curb on the pavement, kind of just looking up at the sun and thinking about the lessons and I was like, none of this makes sense. And then obviously things just get put in the back of your mind, and you carry on with life. You become a teenager, you get wrapped up in it. But then when I was 33, I kind of got the universe struck me down, if you like, and slowed me right down, and to the point where I was just bedbound, and I started researching, and I kind of didn't really stop from there, and it changed my whole perspective on life, everything. And then I found all the flat Earth stuff, and that came.
What
from
year is that? What year was that?
That was 2017. That was, and that came up with a conversation with one of my mates, and he worked nights at the time, and he said, "You're never going to guess what? There's a guy at work. He thinks the Earth's flat." And I was like, what? And I couldn't sleep for a few days, because it was more like, well, why would someone think that, for a start? I didn't dismiss it. I was just like, well, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. But then I never really, the whole spinning ball thing, and, like when you watch a movie and the globe's got the glow around it, at the, on the opening credits of like the Universal Studios movies and stuff like that. I never really bought all that. And on like the David Attenborough documentaries about like the Earth, and I don't know, just certain things weren't adding up. I'm not discrediting all these kind of educated people. People have been around the world and seen more than I've ever seen. It's not about that. It's more to do with your consciousness, isn't it?
Go ahead, discredit them all you want, mate, because I'm right down with it. You know what I mean?
I don't want to discredit anyone. It's not that at all.
I mean, it's really not. God's going to discredit everybody. So it's, it's like, I mean, he does talk about, the wise being made fools. So
yeah, well, it kind of just all come together. And then I was. Got into looking to the flat Earth thing, and then really that just opened up a load of other doors to what we've been lied to.
Were you a flat earther? Or?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say observably, like I could observably look around and say, well, my perspective tells me that. But then as I was kind of journeying on, you realise your eyes don't work the way they think you think they do, and the way.
Was there a certain flat earther that you were attracted to? Certain channel, any videos that kind of.
I mean, you got the Eric Dubay or Dubay, whatever his name is, and there is a flat Earth movement, and then they're like the symbolism in the United Nations flag, and then. You can easily see how it's like a bit of a flawless theory, but then I was looking into the Admiral Byrd documentaries, and I think there's a lot of stuff missing, really. But about him mentioning like the entering the North Pole and coming out the South Pole, and then the whole Bermuda Triangle kind of thing, and then I was looking at this hollow Earth theory.
I was a hollow earther. That was me.
Hollow Earth. So I was thinking, oh my God, this is doing my head in. This is. like I never quite. I was like 90 something percent on the flat Earth theory, but I was like, but then what I was struggling with was you've got this dome, right?
Yeah.
So the highest point of the dome,
Yeah.
the altitude would be in the center.
Right.
But then wherever you further out into the flat Earth model, it's going to be it's going to be just here. It's just here. It's not here.
Right.
So it would
Yeah.
be easy to kind of hit the dome, if you like, if it works in that way. And then I was thinking, well, what's holding that up? And you hear about the talk of the 4 pillars,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, well, what could be outside of that? It didn't make sense. And then the tree of knowledge didn't tally up with that either. Do you see what I mean about the tree having roots and
Yeah.
connectivity to the realm, and then there was never any mention of it. I mean, I'm not 100% sure how true all the Nikola Tesla information is, but he never mentioned anything about any flat Earth. He only ever mentioned the ether and the torus field. So that works with the centrifugal force.
Absolutely.
Sticking, keeping everything pushed to the outside. So it's the theory of gravity. So all these theories, and then you look at all these people, and they're just kind of made up characters to a degree. They don't hold too much weight, and history was kind of massively changed, wasn't it? After the before World War One, and then manipulated again after World War Two, and I remember we had about a 3-hour conversation, didn't we, over the phone, going back a few months ago, and I asked you sort of the same question you said about the mega cryometeors, which is what led you to the concave Earth, and then
everything clicked.
Yeah, things like that start falling into place. So I'm looking at all the chemtrailing that's going on, and there's like a double-sided theory behind that, isn't there? That there's one that it's kind of we're breathing it in, and it's weather engineering, and the other side of it is that it's trying to stop the mega cryometeors from melting on around the glass.
Right. Maybe that's why they're so freaked out about global warming.
Yeah, because
really really freaked out. But they're lying about it's they're saying the ice caps, but really they know that it's going to come eventually.
Yeah, it is going to come. So this is why it ties in with the dumbs.
Yeah,
because the only place to go will be underground.
Right.
And then,
I mean, and sooner or later, we're going to meet the maker. So whether it's by a chunk of ice or
there's been reports, isn't there, of 2,000 pound
£1,000
lumps of ice just entering people's properties and just coming down, and then
whole
the narrative
full of them.
Sorry.
Playlists full of them. I got playlists full of them.
The narrative is that they are coming off aviation when it's melting in the atmosphere because it's at such a high altitude, and the temperature's so low that it's moisture's freezing up, and then it just doesn't make sense because before it even hit the ground, it would have melted into pretty much nothing. It'd have to be bigger than the aeroplane, wouldn't it? In size and weight, to then come closer to the atmosphere, to Earth, warming up.
They have reports of it falling pre-aircraft. They have reports of it falling, cut a sheep in half, farmers' sheep.
Yeah.
And then I think some people think, or Steven thought, it was Tunguska might have been a giant sheet of it. Because they still don't know, still haven't found anything how that happened.
Yeah, a lot of anomalies, and misinformation floating around it. So it's obviously, of course, it's a big thing. They don't want to scare everybody. Also, they don't want to tell us the truth about
No,
global warming. They know it's coming, but
they're
if we
well
end up
aware.
working out what it is,
I just did a video. I've been listening to Morals and Dogma, trying to dig some. Oh my goodness, you can
oh, is
see
that
what I found in there.
the
Albert
Albert?
Pike's. You got to see what I found there. It's like it's concave Earth he's talking about. You know, I mean, the whole lodge is designed around the concave Earth. It is literally the two pillars. You know, Joaquin and Boaz, and the way he talks about it. It's you got to watch it. It's
All
really
right.
good.
Also, this is a documentary.
I just made it. It's about 30 minutes. I just, it says, I exposed their biggest secret. So anyone who wants to really know the truth, I mean, it's here for anyone. I mean, really he exposed it because they're his words. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just lining images up to them.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean.
It,
Yeah, it's putting other people's work out there, isn't it? Because all these books and stuff that were written,
yeah,
you know,
it's his stuff.
when you've
Right.
got videos behind them to back them up as well,
And
they're
it's
more,
so
more
funny.
plausible.
Because right before it, he says, "This knowledge is for the sages and the right, like he's talking about it's for the sages." And I'm guessing, I guess, well, like I got interested in it because of my walk. My father was a Freemason, so and I've always been just really curious. I've been to the lodge and stuff, but I never, I wasn't a member. But
Yeah,
all his friends, I grew up around all these Freemasons, and I used to see my dad's little skin and stuff, and would wonder what it was like, what are they doing. I've been in that, in the room there, and like just and that's what they know, that it's all
that's
designed around Earth.
similar to Craig, because he told
Yeah,
me all about this and what his dad left him behind, and he never knew that his dad was a
yeah.
grandmaster until he passed
Mhm.
away and left him all this information. And then he explained to me about the three perceptions of reality. So the heliocentric model, the geocentric model, and then the theocentric model. So
Mhm.
there's three perceptions of reality being mixed,
Right. Yeah,
which
they
is
run
three
all of
points
them.
of that triangle, isn't it? If you think about it, it's
It's
call it a coincidence.
yeah,
And
and
the top of the triangle is the truth
mm, yeah,
that's hidden from us, and we've got at the bottom the other 2 points of the triangle, this globe and this
yeah.
flat Earth. This
And to tell you the truth, I see why they kind of hold it, because like it's not for. I think God is, what I mean, got a plan for this, or it would be much bigger by now. It's like I think it's kind of meant to, to happen like this. Because when I first discovered, I thought this is going to be just big, like like really quick. I thought, man, because it clicks. So I get it. I like everything works, because I used to always look at stars and go, but like it goes on forever. And then I would buy the helio model, and then the old one where the planets used to go around it like this, right? And then they think they changed in like the 80s and 90s, and we started chasing. It's like no, now it's flying through space, and all these planets are chasing it. And I
yeah,
still bought it, and I remember telling my girlfriend, we were up and we're looking at all the stars, and I told her, every one of those stars is a sun with its own galaxy.
yeah,
And she looked at me and she started laughing at me. I go, what? No, I saw it on the
yeah.
Discovery Channel
It's
and shit. Look, there's Rick. Oh wow.
What's going on,
Hey
brother?
Rick.
how you doing,
We
What's
Rick?
up,
got
man? All
we
right,
got
good news.
Neil. Do you know Rick?
I don't know Rick.
Oh wow.
No,
This
it's
But I
is
nice to
do
meet you.
now. Nice to meet you, brother.
oh
Yeah.
wow. This is big stuff. Got
What's up, brother?
two people on the channel. It's good.
Here you go. This is
Yep.
we've got the trio in here then.
Yeah. The trick.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
it.
Well, it's nothing too serious. It's just a little bit of a chat.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Let's just have a chat. See, put some information together and see what we can try and work out what is actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was just telling him, Rick, that I just did a video of exposing Freemasonry's biggest secret. I was listening to Morals and Dogma, and there's just this piece that I turned to and talking about Yakin and Boaz, talking about the whole, and he just I just exposed it. I just put images to his words, and just stop it, and it's talking about the concave Earth, man. The whole lodge is designed around the concave Earth. It's
That's
so
cool.
just explicit. I mean, like, bam, in your face.
I believe it is the biggest secret.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
not, if you really listen to that. I mean, no one should really get into listening to Morals and Dogma, but my father having a background in there, I've always been just kind of interested in what do they know, like,
Mm-hmm.
what is it that they know? And that's what they know. They know God's real, and they
Yeah.
know heaven is a literal place in the center of earth, and they want to hide that information because it keeps people blind and it keeps them in power. What do you guys think? What do you guys think if that was no knowledge that, okay, that's a real place. We are created. We live in an egg. Heaven is the yolk. And what is your life going to be like then? Are you going to be more conscious of what you do, or are you going to be just as sinful as ever? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh, if you think you're just some speck of dust in the universe,
Yeah.
insignificance is what you feel.
Yeah. It's got no meaning, right? I mean,
Mhm.
why not just?
And to be
That's how
honest,
I lived for a lot of
and
years.
to be honest too, the theological argument would be like if there was other beings that live far off in a distant galaxy, their influence would have had a negative influence because of Adam too, because it said sin entered into God's creation because of Adam's disobedience.
Mhm.
So whenever he disobeyed, sin would have affected the universe. So they would be subject. Whoever lived on distant planets would also be under the subjection of the rule of Adam. So do they need Jesus too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of
Atom and
thing.
evil.
What was that?
It's
Atom and evil.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. Without us, yeah, that whole
I've got. Can I just read you something that I've
absolutely.
had written down for a while, and to me, it ties in with the octahedron in the center, which is the God consciousness, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a two base pyramid fused together.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I found. It's called the Law of 44. So it's the pyramid fused at the base, giving a four-sided pyramid, four top and four bottom. The octahedron and all geometric shapes are based upon several liberal arts in reverse. If this doesn't make sense, don't worry about it.
Dude, keep going, please.
Right. The foundation of the pyramid is a triangle, and the several liberal arts broken down into two factions. One, the trivium faction, and two, the quadrivium faction. The trivium is a grammar logic and rhetoric triangle, and the rhetoric is fused four times to form the pyramid of the grammar logic and rhetoric. You can watch this, maybe watch this back or write it down. These are just notes, so it might not be. I might have wrote it down so I could understand it, not yourself. But there is a magic of the pyramid, and the octahedron is eight-sided geometry, which is the law of 44, 4 and 4 being the 8, which is maybe why we have the analema as well, which is, I know it's not a true figure of 8, but
Can I tell you something really weird? So since I've discovered the concavers for like about 6 years, I see fours everywhere. Like 4 is my
All the
jam.
time, mate. All the
It's
time. Today,
everywhere.
yeah,
I see 4. I wake up at 4:44. I see license plate. Everything is 4s.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah. Same here. Probably same as yourself, Rick.
Mhm.
Keep seeing
Yeah,
the
I see
four.
911 more than anything.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I see 911 all the time.
Very
It's
specific,
yeah.
very specific time or
But
day.
I have seen 333 and 444. Yeah, I have seen.
Yeah, I woke up, and it was as soon as I opened my eyes to check the time, I think it changed that split second to 33, and then
Wow. Yeah.
I had a message from a friend yesterday, and it was at 5:55, and then I sent a text message today, and it was like 13:44, and I was looking, and then my battery was on 44%, and I just smiled to myself. I was like,
Yep.
"Yeah, it's a mathematical universe," and then
Yeah.
it's when you notice it, like it's there for everybody to notice.
Weird. It's weird, isn't it?
It's
Exactly.
but it just gives you this little bit of because angels is angles. It's the anagram, isn't it? So it's just angles, numbers. So those mathematical numbers are your angels. They're the ones in your true guidance. So if you see the 33s and the 11s and the 22s and the 44s, the 55s, 66, because there's no bad numbers in the universe. There's not one bad number between 0 and 9. But obviously
Right.
I say the elite because elite is actually a name for a high class of good people, really. So we refer to them as the elite when they're not actually the elite. Humanity is the elite, the awakened. All of us, and there's nobody that's not going into the new earth. We're all going there because we're all going to learn a lesson either way. Every single one of us. It doesn't matter if you've decided you're going to be a vegan and you're going to do everything by the book, and those who haven't aren't going to kind of come to the new earth with us. We're all going there because we're taking everybody with us. But we have casualties of war, like in any war, unfortunately. So those that don't come, they already chose that in a funny way within your reincarnation, or you want to talk about that anyway? Reincarnation, Rick. Have you ever felt like you've been here before?
I've looked into it a little bit. I don't lean toward that. I lean toward like that there is a creator, and that the creator has each one of us individually, have our time with him, and that possibility of reconciliation with him. So when your time goes, it's like, say, in my idea, I guess, if which one of you would be the one who's supposed to live in the kingdom in the end? You know what I mean? If you've reincarnated over 1,000 years.
Do you think living in the kingdom represents going back inside the celestial sphere as sonoluminescence, and that is what it really means because you've reached stardom?
No, I don't want to say I'm a literalist, because I'm not. I understand there's idioms and there's figures of speech. I understand that stuff in the Bible. But from what I understand, the kingdom of God that's coming, it's reestablishment of paradise. Paradise was lost in the beginning, and then there will be a reestablishment of paradise again. It bookends with paradise with men on earth again, because it says in Revelation 21, it says that the kingdom of God shall descend from the heaven. There's a city. The city is coming down, and there's where the tree of life will be again, and the people who live on the earth will partake in the tree of life again.
Yeah. Because the trees were cut down here, weren't they? The big ones.
Yeah, the giant ones.
Giant trees.
We're on Paradise Found channel. In fact,
I love the name of that. Actually, Sean, that was brilliant.
Sean Milton, distant relative of the poet John Milton, who wrote both Paradise Lost and Paradise Found.
Yep.
Two big.
Oh, okay.
Big poems. So
that's what
synchronicity.
Right, because I do see that there's when Christ says when he returns, there's going to be 1,000-year reign where
Yeah.
the people who
Yeah, I've heard
believed in him
the
will.
same,
Yeah.
heard exactly the same.
So we're going to be reigning on the earth.
1,000
I'm
years of
looking
peace.
forward to that.
Because I don't think
I
that the center was actually our intended place, because God put man on the earth. Earth was meant to be the place that we dwell.
Yeah, but when we're gone, right, is a different story.
When we're gone, the Bible predominantly, there's a couple verses here
You
and
mean
there
when
that
we're
people
dead?
may misconstrue. It says we're asleep. We're awaiting to be awakened from the dead. The dead in the ground shall hear the voice of the Lord when he returns. There's going to be two resurrections. There's going to be a resurrection of the just, and there's going to be a resurrection of the unjust. Is what the scripture says anyway.
Judgment.
Judgment. Yeah, the white throne judgment, which occurs after the 1,000-year reign. So when the Messiah returns, he wakes up those who were, like, I call us the Navy SEALs, the ones, if you're raised when he comes, then you're like the Navy SEALs of the faith. You know what I mean? You're going to be ruling and taking over the earth for 1,000 years and ruling over the people who are left behind, who survived the wrath of God.
And I think it's going to be it's going to play out a little different than we all kind of think, right? Like I think there'll be people who you really, really thought were going to go, towards it and get really freaked out because it's too heavy. And there's going to be people who you didn't think are, going to go
That's why
with
we
it. And
preach it to everybody. Yep.
Yeah. And I just think it's going to be a little different scenario. Like we know, like this is a different scenario. This is a freaky different scenario that I'm talking about, that some weird dude from Vegas is talking about this heavy subject. And all these Christian friends that I know very strong can't go with me. They can't. I'm like, dude, this is your book. I mean, you showed me this. Like, I'm reading it. I'm like understanding Genesis. Like, wow, like this is. And then once you see it, you can't stop seeing it. And once it's in, then you know God's real. And then you start to notice all these communications all the time.
Yeah.
And the more you really tap into it, I was like doing sun gazing and stuff. I was sun gazing and I was taking nice and iodine, right? And you know what? Like it's because I wanted to decalcify my pineal gland. I want to know, well, what is the sun, right? Animals use it, right? And I was like, so I started sun gazing, and the weirdest stuff started happening. I started getting super like psyche, like, you know what I mean? Like I'd think about someone they call, and I'd think about my kid, and I'd see like his name, and just all these really weird me out. Like, okay. And then I went to this bookstore over here, right? And I was telling this on the Flat Earth channel, and I just had discovered the concave Earth, and I just discovered megacrimeteors. I went to a thrift store over here. I live in a little tiny place, right? I walked up to this magazine rack with books, a bunch of old books, and I pick up this thing, and I actually show it to you. It's on one of my channels, or on one of my videos, and it's a magazine, right? And it's Amazing Mysteries, and it's like a kid's book from the 70s, right? And it's got the Loch Ness Monster, and 2 pages in, I find megacrimeteors, ice that falls from a clear blue sky, mystery to science. I about dropped. I was like, oh, you're kidding me, right? Like, are you kidding me right now? And it was like confirmed. Okay, what are the odds of that? What do you think the odds are that I'm halfway around the world from where I live? I just looking at chemtrails, I discover megacrimeteors, and then the next day I put my hand on a book that I
no
don't
such
know.
thing as coincidences, are there?
Coincidence, and then no, I'm a gambler. Okay, I'm from Vegas. You know what the odds are of that? That's a lottery ticket times a billion. Forget
Well,
about
God works
it.
in mysterious ways. He really does.
Yes, he does. He does. He works on like me. I don't know why he's talking to me. I don't know why. I guess I gotta say something. I gotta. I guess I was that weird kid who is gonna receive him. Because
I
there's no
was the kid.
denying it. Now what do I do? When I discovered it, now what do I do?
Mhm.
God's real. I'm running around here like a freak. I was running around walls in like I was on fire. I didn't, like I would run around telling people, yeah, the Bible, this is real. They're like, here. And then I went to church
Yeah.
and they were like, you're not really, but like take me serious enough to at least look at something. You know what I mean? At least like
Right. Well, if they open that can of worms, most people don't want to deal with
don't
what
want to
comes
do
down.
it.
No, no.
Yeah.
They
Not
want to
easy.
spiritualize everything.
It's not easy, is it? You kind of
Mm-mm,
have to
it's
lose your
not.
mind to find yourself to become.
Yeah. Once you
When I first go ahead.
go, Rick. Sorry.
Oh, I
Go.
was about to say, when I first started looking into the concave Earth, it was like around the end of 2010, early 2011. It was like that Christmas year, that winter year, right in that season. And and I tell you, I didn't say hardly anything about that subject for almost 6 months. I had a bunch of questions. I wrote down a piece of paper about, questions about the stars, question about how is it, all these different things. Because I'm like, before I start talking about this, because I don't want people to think I'm nuts, because
Mm,
I want to talk to them about the Bible. So if I come off with some Bigfoot crazy stuff that everybody's against, I wanted to
Yeah.
yeah.
make sure that what I was saying wasn't easily disproved. So I
Right.
didn't say hardly anything to anybody for a little while. And then when I first started talking about it, I started bringing up the star trails and stuff, and how the northern southern hemispheres are different, but yet we're supposed to be spinning in space, and every night it's a perfect circle. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And so I started doing those little things, but um, uh, as far as like I almost lost where I was going with it. I'm
No,
sorry.
sorry. Go.
but um, but yeah, so I looked into that stuff, but I didn't want people to think I was crazy, and it's hard to bring it up. It's a difficult subject, and
Mm,
when you start opening that door, it's very there's a lot to it. You got to be willing to finish out the mission, so to speak. You know what I mean?
so keep on going. So 2012, you discovered it before me, 2 years before me.
Yeah.
So what happened? Tell me what was going on. How'd you get
Um,
there?
I was looking at I think it was Helios, whichever one it is. I can't remember which one it is now, but it's the one where the Earth is like it is. It's a globe, but the universe, everything is moving.
Oh,
You
right,
know,
right.
I forget which one that is, but I was looking
It's
at
like
that and
a
I'm like, that
just
yes,
geocentric, right? Yeah,
yeah, because they were talking about the axis of evil. Those satellites that
yeah,
they stuck up that were looking out, and they said the universe is the one thing that the Earth is everything spinning around us, and that didn't make
yeah.
no dang on sense. That didn't make no sense. You know what I mean? So while I was looking at that, I ran across one of LSC's videos where he was
Oh, yeah,
drawing on paper and
yeah.
drawing out all this stuff. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, that was very interesting. I took it home the next day and I did, you know what? I did show my wife a little bit about it, but then I didn't touch on it very much after that. And, um, and I tell you what, man, it blew my mind. I was like, how is this making sense? It's not supposed to make sense. This doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah.
You know?
You're, you're still fighting it, huh? Now,
Oh,
what was your reaction to Steven? It was just a quick video. You didn't get the whole
it
the
turned me off that, well, it disappointed me that when I realized that he was talking, because he didn't talk about himself being the Messiah at that point. Like, well, no,
not a
maybe he
lot
did, but
back
not on
then.
that video. But that
Right. Okay.
particular video that I found didn't say that. I saw the name said Lord Stephen Christ, but I didn't.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm half asleep most of the time, probably.
Right.
But but yeah. So I didn't realize, and then in more videos I watched, I'm like, dude, this screws it all up. Now I can't show my Christian friends this.
Right.
Because now it's a false Christ, it's a false Messiah. How's this guy? They're not even going to go half as far as I did to see whether or not he was just using that as a ploy to shut people out.
But was something ringing with you, obviously, to keep looking at it?
It it just seemed true. I
Yeah.
just couldn't believe that it was true, and then it made sense because, again, it goes against the alien thing. Everything is
Everything.
whatever it is, it's the fallen angels or whatever it is. What we
Yeah.
call aliens,
Yeah.
they're of the earth. They're here with us.
Absolutely.
You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
They've just been hiding and quiet. You know. But yeah, so
Yeah. Once you get it, everything kind of clicks, right? Like it just all the pieces fall. Oh my God! Like, yeah, we were here
hmm
with the dinosaurs. Like the Earth is like flood. Oh
yeah,
my, have a flood. Like
Right.
I was just like, holy man, I got duped because I was
And it
such
was
a History Channel. Like I buy all that Ancient Aliens. I was full on.
They really
Mhm.
sell it. They really sell it to us, though, don't they? You know,
yes.
if you've watched a couple of documentaries or a series of documentaries, you could be 10 hours into a series of documentaries before you know it. It's like, well, that's the narrative, and relying on the fact that there's people know more than yourself. But when you say
Yeah.
about the about like the fallen angels and which goes to the Nephilim and then the flood,
hmm
there's the information I think that Stephen put out was that the cause of the flood was because of the star cluster inside the celestial sphere, and
hmm
it got really hot and
Burning
it
through.
melted the glass, which goes into the reference in the Bible about the windows of heaven.
hmm
Bro.
And then obviously all this water from above came out, and because it kind of melted the glass. And then is it in the desert? They've got all that blue glass, haven't they? That they
Libyan,
found.
it's
Libyan
green.
desert.
Yeah, but it's,
Yeah.
like different blues and greens, and it's not from the Earth. They can't kind of. It's not on the periodic table, is it?
Mm-mm.
And then
No, no, it is like a.
celestial sphere fusing back together.
It's like a no. That after the flood, the theory is that there's an actual another firmament, um, that pushed down, and that's why I think there was a lot more oxygen back in
Yeah,
pre-flood
Yeah.
times. I think they were
Right.
looking at a different sky. I think like because that's when he gave the token of the rainbow to Noah. You never flood
hmm
the earth again, and
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's kind of
Something happened. Something happened because it says that the guy did it. I don't want to maybe equate it to accident or that the devil did it, or anything like that. But something apparently happened.
the Earth.
Um,
It's got the Earth.
right.
Mother Earth
Ooh,
reacted,
yeah.
didn't she, to the
Right.
fact that there was so much evil going on. I think if once the human consciousness, if it ever gets to
Mhm.
that certain state, Mother Earth will always naturally fight back to protect herself against
Mhm.
human beings or malevolent beings. Call it subhumans or
is that
whatever.
when God cut the lifespan back after?
Right, because like
Yeah,
you said just a minute ago about the
yeah,
oxygen levels, they
yeah,
they tested. I guess they found air bubbles in amber, and they could
yeah.
test it, and the oxygen level was bigger. I mean, so that's why all the animals grew bigger.
Bigger,
The plants grew bigger,
and
Yeah,
and
dudes were
after the
bigger. Everything was bigger.
right, and
yeah,
that is why the lifespan. Ken Hovid, he's a
Oh, I
Christian.
love. Yeah,
He did a bunch of good stuff on the days of Noah, and he was talking about the dinosaurs and things. And
man.
it had a lot to do with the oxygen. Like, really, that's one of the reasons why we don't live as long. Hyperbaric chambers, um, uh, like, actually help you a whole lot. You know, so it's like the more oxygen you can rich your blood, then you'll be
Yeah,
all right. You're
it's funny that once you discover it, you don't even have to be like super smart, right? You get so much confirmation. I can listen to Ken Wheeler's videos and just go, "Holy shit! How does he not know the Earth's concave?" You know what I mean? Just like everything he talks about. Like I've been looking into this new thing, which you guys might find a little. And I got it off Josh. It's like he's another concaver, and he talks about this some form of it getting bigger the closer you get to it, and it's almost like a black hole, right? Ken Wheeler was talking about the more powerful the magnet, the smaller that vortex is in the middle, right? And what it is, it's actually like just sucking it, like, you know what I mean, like and it's just this thought. There's a couple concavers that do, and so it's like the higher you ascend towards the celestial sphere, the smaller you become and the bigger the inside gets. And it has a certain name for it, right? And I was thinking about it, it's almost like opposite of, like in the heliocentric model, like the Planet of the Apes theory, right? If you're traveling, you know, at the speed of light, and you come back, it'll be like hundreds of
Like
years.
time hasn't passed for you, but they've aged.
Yeah, and kind of in reverse. But when you think about it, like God could be like infinitely just, you know, like the closer you get to him, that just smaller you get, you know, like,
Oh, imagine you feel that way.
right?
For sure. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just it's funny that you get to like kind of think about things and like imagine like what is that thing that they're picking up in the sky that's behind me?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Like like that's their stuff. That's from
Mm-hmm.
that
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, it's from Seymour. That's the octahedron. That's their
Mm.
stuff. That's their picture. What is that to them? Because if I didn't know, I would think of UFOs or something's coming down to, you know what I mean? Like they're watching us, right? There it is.
Yeah.
Because that thing
Right.
is.
I know, that's amazing. I wanted to get a hoodie with that on it. I
Right.
think that would be sweet.
Oh man, I think it's a badass looking. Even that one, like I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the it's all looped together, that work that Steven did with it?
Yes, I
He's
love that.
taking,
I'd like to. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's hard to find that clip.
I think it's on one of, I know I've been looking through his videos, but I think it's on the it is. I think a couple shots of it are on Concave Earth in a Nutshell.
Okay. Yeah, the quick. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, because he did have it set up where he was actually talking about it in like a little section when he put it all together and ran them all together.
Mm.
Yeah, but it was years ago when he did that. But I know what you're talking about. I've seen it on his 6 hour, that documentary, the one that
Yeah.
lumps together a bunch of his stuff. It's on there too.
So you pretty
I
much
just
just
have
watched from afar. You never were like part of any groups or.
no. The Josh was the first person I contacted, and it's
Okay.
because he had his name and his number out there. So because he kept it on his Facebook. But yeah, I ran across Josh and Sam having conversations back in the beginning, and then I reached out to contact Josh. We talked for a little bit, and then I talked to Sam. But it was years. I've only known them for probably 3 years now, and I just didn't have computer stuff. You know what I mean? I just didn't have no way of contacting anybody.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I didn't know anybody else was really even following this stuff for a long time, because without LSC's content, most people weren't talking about it.
Yeah.
And you can see, and I used to watch a lot of flat Earth stuff and save it because it proved concave Earth. I said, just they're saying it's flat Earth, but look, you can totally see the horizon is still rising. You know what I mean? It's like they just ignore the fact that the horizon is at eye level no matter what.
So what do you two think about the LSC thing? Because me personally, I like, man, I blew off because I wasn't anything when I found him, so I wasn't like offended like about the whole Jesus thing. I mean, like I wasn't too like whatever. I was like, dude, you want to call yourself whatever. Like, I think you're like trip, dude, like badass. This is like amazing shit. How come you're like? I thought, how come you're not more popular? And I was like
Yeah.
watching people in the chat going, how come you guys are so mean to this dude? Like I think he's smart, and I think he's a mad genius, and I think he's a mad genius, and I do think he deserves forgiveness, and I think how would any of us know? Would any of us know about this if he didn't?
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't know any. Like, how would I know all this stuff that goes with it? There's so much. It's
Nobody else has put those graphics out like he has.
or just
No
all
one's
the work.
explained it in detail about the the sidereal year, the 4 points of equilibrium.
Yeah.
Nobody's done anything like that. Nobody's created a model like that. I know, obviously, with the flat Earth model, the working model is, the sun and moon rotate like a bird's eye view of a clock face, isn't it? But then what Stephen's done is he's made kind of 3-dimensional spherical trigonometry, and he's just put it all together in this inverted ball, so to speak.
His
So
graphics,
what do you think?
Mind blowing,
What did the whole thing freak you out? Because it freaked me
Of
out
course
a
it
bit.
does. Of course it does. I was
it freaks me out.
I used to think that this is who I was or where I lived, and what you were saying earlier, you're kind of just a irrelevant speck of dust traveling through like time and space forever until you die, and think God's a bit of a myth about some guy in the sky. It's a bit of it's all fairy tale, but it's the Bible. There's a lot of it's a lot of information wrapped around the truth, isn't it? And it also reflects us, with the Jacob's ladder and your vertebrae and the 12 disciples being the 12 cranial nerves. It's all a representation of God's creation, if you like, which is man. But the inverted side of that through the Satanism is that man is the beast, the 666, the protons, neutrons, and electrons. When it's not, they just hate God's creation. They hate us because we all will always fight back. We're their nemesis, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you guys, check it out. So Paul, he has just shared that that link in the chat he's got a whole clip of that octahedron.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, brilliant.
So,
I can't see anything, to be honest.
Let me see. I'll copy it. Let me copy it. So, let me see.
I can't see.
I lost my.
I don't want to do anything in case
Do you surf, dude? You surf, Neil, huh?
Not since. No, I went a couple of times, like local.
I'm just learning.
You might have seen a photo of me with a surfboard. I think.
Yeah, I did, bro. I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Swallowed a lot of seawater.
Yeah,
it's so salty too. Oh my gosh.
But I managed to get up on the board and I managed to catch a wave. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, I'm just buying a board. I'm just learning. I paddleboard, but all right, I got it. I'll send you guys it.
Okay. I was going to say I went to the Bermuda with my wife, and we got off the boat in this water, and it was only like 15 feet deep or so. You could see the bottom, and I was like, man, these flippers are slowing me down. I took them flippers off. I went nowhere. I was like, you gotta put the flippers back on.
So it makes your aerodynamic.
All right, so he didn't because like this is what kind of freaks me out is because like Stephen, had that thing like all the ice is gonna fall, and I need to take you guys in the bunker, like, and it's like the whole Chicken Little story. In fact, his email is Steve the Fox, right? You know the story of Chicken Little, right? The sky's falling. He gets you to go in the cave and eat you up.
Yep. Right.
Like, and so it's a whole, and I know he's sitting in there wherever he is right now and watching what's going on in the world with the whole.
Where is he?
Threats of FEMA camp and all that stuff, right? And he's got to be smiling. He's really got to be. I think he's.
Unless he's medicated.
Do you think he's trying to?
I think he's got a giant smile on his face, like, because I really think by this time he maybe does really believe that. And
yeah, he might. Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, he doesn't seem like he's going to put Johnny's.
And I think it's because, like who in their right mind is going to, like, once you're going to threaten the president, but twice?
I
You're gonna
know.
do it twice?
Apparently, he did that to kind of get noticed, and he's
But
wherever he is.
twice?
If he was put into solitary confinement
Yeah,
because he wanted to be there, he put himself there.
yeah. I kind of think too. He's trying to self-fulfill prophecies that he thinks that he needs to.
Yeah.
Sacrifice? But
And you
no,
know, I've
It's
seen a
just
couple videos of him where he's actually either been out on visiting or people are hanging out.
really?
Yeah.
Shut
So
up. Really?
yeah, there's a couple videos of him where he's been like after this whole thing went down, he's either been on visitation or doing something, but he was hanging out with a couple people.
so where is he, and who's the person that's in control of his channel?
Travis. Travis is controlling his channel.
Right.
Okay.
Nalon left. I don't think
Nalon's a
Nalon's a part of it.
girl.
Yeah, I know. And I talked to
Yeah.
Nalon just before he started doing that transition, and
Oh
he
no.
changed he tattooed over his tattoo,
Oh wow.
the LSE tattoo he had on his chest.
Yeah.
He changed it. He changed it. He covered it with some other stuff.
Who
And,
had
and what?
the tattoo? The
Nayland and Travis.
Nalon. Yeah. So yeah, because I talked to Nayland for like 5 hours, and I shared some stuff with him as the reason why I personally could never see LSE as the Messiah, because he doesn't
Yeah.
fulfill certain things, and I explained that to him, and then hopefully that had some influence. But I seen pictures. He sent pictures of his tattoo that had been covered, but he
So
still.
I've seen comments on some of the videos, and people say, you know, there's so much Satanism around this sort of stuff, and you know, is it a bit of a bluff with some of the information? It's like putting it out there for you all to see, but you know, going to coerce you into thinking, you know, these mega cryo meetings are going to happen, and you've got to go here, and this is where you're going to be saved. Like you said about the Chicken Little going into the cave, and then you get eaten. So we have to save ourselves, don't we? There's no point relying on anybody else.
well, yeah, we need God's help. We need a savior. If we need to be saved, we need a savior.
Yeah, but by
you know,
ourselves,
that's
that's it.
yeah,
Well,
right.
I remember when LSE was talking about Australia as well, and I was thinking,
Yeah, I'm
you
here.
know, yeah,
Yeah, I've got something written down about that, and it says at the bottom, "Go to
Yeah.
Australia." But
No, we're changing that after this COVID thing. We ain't gonna be in Australia.
because
Well, it just
this
might,
is where
because
this
this
is
might
where
be the
to
center
me
of hell.
it ties in with the looking glass technology. Do you know about the
Yeah.
looking glass
Ooh,
technology?
that's interesting.
So with the
stuff.
looking glass technology, both
That's
sides, good and evil, whatever you want to call it, can only see so far because there is this technology. So the good that is with us knows that where we're going to end up, but they have sent the Satanists to Australia. They've pointed them in the direction of going to Australia.
Thanks a lot.
The place to go is actually America.
They've already been here. Have you
What,
heard
for
about
refuge?
this looking glass technology?
For refuge, yeah. But obviously in Australia, it's ring fenced in the Dums, isn't it? The whole of Australia is completely ring fenced. Apparently so.
Yeah, they have, like, I guess that one place in the middle there. It's a big. There's all kinds of Americans down there too,
and the population of Australia as well. It's like there's 25 million.
Yeah, they're zoned in on me, I'm sure.
They've got everybody, haven't they? Really.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, they've got everybody. They're watching what you're doing.
Have you heard of this looking glass technology, Rick? Have you heard of that?
Maybe I don't know if it's. I don't know that phrase doesn't ring with me. I don't understand what they mean. Like CERN stuff.
It's a quantum computer, right? It's
like an algorithm where they predict.
Yes, they predict. Yeah,
yeah.
And what's crazy is they just had like a sci-fi show, like a mini series on the same topic, right? And they were actually going back and looking at Jesus's death and Jesus dying on the cross. And
do you remember the movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington?
I remember the name of it,
where they were looking into the future, I think, as well in that. I'll have to maybe watch it again. But
I have to pull it up because I do remember that name. That was back in the 90s, wasn't it?
I think it might be 2000s. Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah, it works on laser, like different than a regular computer. It works on graphene and laser beams. And then, in fact, there's a
Graphene.
video.
That's what's in the shots.
Yeah, right. And it levitates. It gets quantum. Right. They shave it real thin, and it goes like quantum. It goes two places at once.
Yeah. So it opens up a wormhole in space and time where you can see that specific event.
Yeah.
But you can only see so far, apparently. And then there's apparently Trump made a reference to it when he had the glass of water and held it up, and then he threw the glass through the looking glass, and then it's the whole Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? That at the moment we're all down the rabbit hole, and the Alice in Wonderland is through the looking glass. So again, all the signs and everything is there, but we've just got to be able to read the story.
Yeah, right.
It's not in words. It's not written. It's just it's universally visible if you look.
Oh man, they're probably 50 or 60 years. Some people might say more, but I'm thinking they're way ahead of us.
We're picking up the pieces, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're kind of, decipher everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you think we're going to make a pushback as humanity a bit?
Yeah.
A pushback to the right a bit, because it's starting to scare me.
I think more people are going to turn to not saying religion, but faith or God, or because I think when you find out how much evil exists, the only opposite can be God and good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Bible does teach that there'll be a great falling away in the end.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with the false teachers that are teaching some secret rapture, all this stuff that they're trying to promote.
Yeah.
So when that doesn't happen, there will be a decline in people's faith. But at the same time, like you're saying, Neil, people are going to see so much evil they just can't. It's in their face. They're going to be searching for God in some way. They're going to be like looking on.
Maybe they'll look
what everybody do when something bad happens in their life or they lose someone or anything. You automatically go in. Oh my God! You're looking for that something sacred, something within. Whereas we are the creation of something unique, aren't we? The way our bodies work, the way our brain works, everything about us.
Here's what's interesting about this subject right here is it could take a layman, just your average Joe, never thought about none of this, never thought about God, and can look at it and in a kind of a way a real bloke thinks or whatever, that makes sense.
We used to mock it when we were kids. So a friend of mine, his parents were, I think his mom went to church and his stepfather was a vicar, and we'd be like, "Oh, look at the Bible bashers," and we'd always take the mick out of it and everything. It's not even about that now. It's like it's something bigger, isn't it? It's acknowledging something bigger and relevant to what's real about the earth and a creation. It's not going to worship like this entity, because you're taught to worship outside of yourself, so you don't go within. So once everyone starts going within, that consciousness will kind of collect, won't it? Everybody will be on that same frequency then. We'll vibrate the same, which is why we need to keep our vibrations up. Or at the moment in Australia, America, everywhere around the world, they're trying to really push the vibrations down. And at Christmas, everybody's vibrating high, aren't they? Because everybody loves Christmas and they don't want that. They want to go in more fear.
There's no deeper pit of hell than being in Australia on Thanksgiving. It's going to be brutal. I want to be in America so bad right now. I want to but it's not, not a picnic over there right now either. But it's been a rough couple of years.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thoughts going out to everybody in Australia. They've got it awful over there. We think it's bad here with the dictatorship, but
Yeah, you guys are. You guys
That's
at least,
evil.
you guys are standing up over there. You guys are.
So where are you at,
Hold
Neil?
on.
Are you in England?
Yeah, in the UK.
Yeah,
UK? Okay.
you guys don't play. You guys got to go out in force.
Oh,
You know, you guys
Yeah,
go
I
out
think,
in
I think we've got
force.
enough. I think we've got enough of us. It's just
Yeah,
what we seem to have in the UK is like the bread and circus of sport has a
yeah.
massive
Well, that's
effect
you got.
on the men and women. So I see people arguing all the time about the football, but they're not saying anything about what the governments are doing. But I
mhm,
still think when the information comes out, because there has to be so much of the population awake, doesn't there, before
mhm,
anything will change. Like if 30% of the population or 30% of your country are all banging your drum, but the 70% of them are just like, well, they don't believe it, or they're a little bit asleep. It's only going to go so far. But when you go over that halfway mark of 50%, it's a tipping point then. So all these people that will go and chant and rave about their football teams or whatever sports that they support, when they find out what's going on and look, we're coming for your children, they will stand together then. But
mhm,
you'll have different mentalities, because you'll have like this is just my thoughts on it. I'm not saying it's the truth. I'm just saying what I think, that you'll have like the pitchfork people as such will be going out there with violence, and they'll be so angry because they haven't done any inner work over this
mhm,
time. And then there'll be a certain part of the population that have done that work, they've understood it and realised we can't fight it with anger and violence, because we'll just wear ourselves out and it will just bring in the martial law.
mhm.
So we'll do it to ourselves. We all need
Mm.
to literally remove ourselves from the system and just vibrate as one.
Yeah,
I was wondering about the Muslim community, because I know there was a couple years back they were talking about a height, and the Muslims coming over and no go zones. They were talking about that kind of stuff, and I'm just wondering. I wonder what their communities are doing with this vaccine stuff and this
you
pushback.
know, that's a
Things like
very
that
good
haven't got much to
question.
say, doesn't it?
We have a large population, and in fact, my pharmacist is a Muslim, really cool dude. I got a lot of Muslim friends here, but I looked for everybody. Like I think they're all. I I was even thinking about like in name joining the Jehovah Witnesses. I thought for sure they're not getting it right. For sure,
Mm.
I thought, man, like I'm in. I'm looking for a Kingdom Hall. I'm gonna sign up. Give me a badge, and like yeah. And sure enough, I look it up. No, them too.
Hmm.
Them. T-
Yep.
it's like
It's the 501c3 church. They're part of the same
yeah,
thing. They can't
everyone
stand against the government because they lose their tax exemption.
exactly. Yeah, Seventh Day Adventist. Hey, Ellen G. White wrote book after book about, someday the government's going to come and they're going to stop us from worshiping on Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, every
Hmm.
day. And
Yeah.
we're just going to go, okay, no
I
worries. We
Right.
trust you.
It's because the preachers have been buttering everybody's bread for them forever.
Yeah.
I got, like I said, I've recently been asked not to return to the church that I've been going to, unless I'm just going to be a part of the group and not say too much. Because
Well,
I told him, I said, how much? I said, are you teaching these people to fish, or are you just giving them a fish? I said,
mm,
because they don't know if I'm right or not. I said, they don't know if you're right or not. They just believe anything you say because you're the preacher, you know?
uh,
And
is it a brand or it's just born
it's a
again Baptist?
Baptist church. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. And I'm non-denominational, really. I'm like,
right.
I search online. I look up a lot of Torah stuff. I've leaned in
Mm,
toward away from the modern Christianity. I think that's what part of the problem is that they're preaching too many things that are just doctrines of men. They really are.
right. And they're
They,
not hitting the
they're.
They want to merge the religions as well, don't they? The world leaders and
Hmm.
call it Chrislam. So
yeah.
Hmm.
either
Yeah,
one will be
yeah.
controlled. So two wings of the same bird would be completely in your
Yep.
face if they did that.
Yeah. They don't want
Right.
to meet the people's needs. They don't want to meet the people where they're at. Right. They
Mm-mm.
want to, they want to convert them into a certain, brand. Like, and I just went through that. Look, I like am new Christian, so I can read the Bible and interpret things, and talk with people. And I went all over the place and talked to all kinds of Christians and not fell into this or that. And, I guess I don't know enough to really, super get, I listen to a lot of people and and I do lean towards, a lot of, certain doctrine about, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about, about what happens when you die. Cause that's what I was very interested, cause when I discovered this information, I was like, oh no, I was like so crazy feeling because I felt like, all right, like it's real. And this guy, LSC, is like, I got to find, like, I need, look, the Bible's true. So that means Jesus is, and I need, because the whole thing, like, I thought, I didn't know about the works thing, like I thought, oh man, I'm never going to catch up. Right. You guys have been good for so long, you've been Christians for so long. I've done all this bad. And then, I went into the right place because they look, all right, like this is what happened. Jesus died for your sins. You know what I mean? So you can be forgiven, right? So
it's a clean start.
It makes sense with the whole, the sacrifices in the old, something had to die, like sin, the wages of sin are death, and it's yeah, it's all prophecy, right? It's all fulfilled. It's being fulfilled right in front of our eyes right now too. And
yeah, prophecies is playing out, but a lot of it's written, isn't it? So if we completely follow that, we might miss a trick.
Yeah,
it's the magician's trick. Do you remember the Now You See Me movies, Morgan Freeman? And just when you think like that's it, it's like, well, hang on a minute, you didn't see that coming. And if the magician is the devil, he'll deceive you to the end.
And I kind of think that's what's planning on happening, is that there's going to be these because I don't think that God is the one necessarily doing all the harp stuff, if you know what I mean.
Right.
The stuff that people are doing to almost kind of give this false sense of, it's like they're creating this, not that the God has said, this is my wrath that's here. You know what I mean? I think they're going to do something and it's going to snowball and then they can't stop it. And God's just going to keep smacking the ball. You know what I mean? But I think they want people to believe that Jesus is coming back. And then when he doesn't come back, when they think he's coming back, that will cause it shake a lot of people's faith.
Yeah. There's the false Messiah, isn't there? And this is what ties in with the UK with, they wanted to, connect Prince William to the royal bloodline of Christ by falsifying the paperwork. And then the second coming is the is to do with it's the black cube, isn't it?
The Saturn.
When linking up with the holographic Jesus coming from the sky. So you've had the false Messiah. So once, if the our UK royal family put out that, they've got the royal lineage to Christ, and then that's the false Messiah, and it's all proven, it takes down the monarchy, then the real Messiah ends up coming out the sky as a hologram. And if the 5G is connected to people, whether it is via these vaccines or something, you'll see and hear and believe and think that that's what's actually going on, because your reality's been completely messed about with.
Right, like that blue beam stuff.
Project Blue Beam, yeah. So it's all
Spider-Man
played out, and they tell you anyway, don't they?
Right, they did do that in the Spider-Man
movie. Was about that. Yeah, it was about
that. Rick.
Yeah.
What's that?
What did you say? Sorry, Rick, about Spider-Man.
I said, yeah, he's right. Spider-Man had a blue beam type of hologramic technology that they were using to deceive, in one of the movies.
Right. I watched the clip of the third one. It was with Venom, when
Mm-hmm.
he defeats Venom by using the sound tubes, because he remembers that
Frequency.
the bell that was ringing was what ripped the graphene or venom, if you like, from him in the first place. So that's how, so if this black goo, or because it's a physical, it's the physical of the black goo, the dark consciousness, isn't it? The graphene, if you like. And there's a girl called Megan Rose. I don't know if you've watched anything that she's put out at all. She's American. And she is convinced that the greys, the negative entities, have been defeated, and the only thing that's left is the false perception of this physical realm. So, because there's so much consciousness still attached to, oh God, it's so bad and things are so bad, and obviously we've got the negative entities in politics still running the show. That's the only thing that's left. Once that's gone and people disconnect from them, like people are, they're disconnecting and having no trust in their governments. Once all that happens, it will fall apart. So it has to fall apart in this matrix. It has to fall apart from the inside. It can't be done from the outside. It has to fall apart from the inside. So all these structures that are connected will just fall away, and then we will just see it, like the Hunger Games, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, that's what they're trying to do, right? You can tell
we're in Hunger Games. When they put us in the tiers,
it's like some weird reality between like Hunger Games, between 1984 and A Brave New World. It's like, they've shaped this reality. Just, they planned this whole futuristic thing all behind, what's his name? Started with Crowley and then Parsons, and then what's his name was running around with them. The guy who started Scientology, and then all the science fiction, right? All this science fiction, and then they've went way with this science fiction. Now, the real scientists are science fiction. It's just crazy.
German rocket scientist Werner von Braun, who was obviously taken into NASA then. I can't remember her name, but his assistant was saying that when he was in his last years because I think he died of cancer, did he? Did he die of cancer?
I'm not sure, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you know
the lady.
In his last years, he decided to open up and tell his assistant, which she started coming out with the information. She said, look, all of the space and everything, it's all one big lie. And what they're going to do is they're going to bring out the alien invasion, and people are going to think it's real because they've ramped up so many movies about aliens for the last God knows how long, and space, that it's been pumped into the consciousness, hasn't it? And the same with all the horror movies and everything. It's all to keep you in that vibrational state of fear. Like you tune into that, then, don't you? Like
the predictive programming. They tell you ahead of time so you're not so shocked when it happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. My father one time told me, he said if people could see the face of the devil, like for real, the being that we would call the evil, if you could really see him, nobody would ever do anything he wanted to do, but he presents himself in these little ways so that you really don't see who he is,
Yeah. I mean, it's like exactly what he did with this, right? Like taking the truth, flipping it completely inside out, where it basically like works, but it's completely opposite, right? It's got some things in there, right? And it makes sense, but
that's just enough truth to keep you going.
Yeah, exactly.
What you're saying there, Sean, is what I worked.
Right. It's just like a glass of water that one drop of poison's in, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing's poison. The whole thing.
Yep.
It's not.
I thought of LSE whenever he was talking about the God thing. I was like, man, it's like you got all this great information, all this good science, but then you throw in this God thing in there, and I was like, that phrase, the turd in the punch bowl, kind of popped in my mind,
And see, but he wasn't always like that. He was, on the internet actively since 2004 and getting bashed by people, right? He told me the whole story that he was he was just like you, or like a regular Baptist or whatever. First, he grew up a Catholic, but then he got into church and he was playing bands and stuff, and then he turned into a King James onlyist. He was just a seeker,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he run across this thing, right? And then he ran across the Cyrus Teed, and then that mathematician, and then he's like, oh, like something's right, and then he thought of the glass sky part, and then really it started working, like reading scripture. And I think when you're trying to tell someone, I know how it is about me, and I'm using all his stuff, but actively like really trying to go, this is important, and everyone going, you're crazy, right? You're crazy. And then I think that would have a real like, well, I'm gonna really like, first you start to just shock them, right? Like, fine, well, and then you probably start to think, well, maybe I am the only solid. Maybe I am, because if no one else cares about this and I'm the only one who cares about it, maybe this is like
Something.
some weird trick that I'm playing
And
on myself.
you didn't choose this. Well, you did at some point, but unknowingly.
Right. Yeah. And I think if you go enough, like, and not talking about Sam, I love you if you're listening. Yeah, bro, just, you got to chill with that, because it will take you into not good space.
Who are you talking about?
Samuel Hancock. He's
Is he the guy that lives in the UK?
yeah. He's my monster. I created him.
I think I've watched a bit of his stuff. I'm not
really
dismissing
nice
anything he says, because he's
a
speaking
flat
his own
earther.
truth, isn't he? You got to give it to him. He's putting the information out there. He's doing his own thing. He's another connection to all of this, isn't he? To a degree, maybe he's a little bit ahead of us. You can't dismiss
he used to be a flat
anybody.
earther.
Hey?
Sam was a flat earther, and I over like a 2-year period, I would just send him things, just saying hi, and sure enough, sooner or later he came around, and he was really good, and then he's starting to go a little. Oh
yeah, you got to try.
He thought his form of Christianity was the only way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he squashed, because when I got into the group, I thought it was nice to have some concave people to talk about, but I quickly realized that everything was censored through Sam. It's like, if you said too much, then then all of a sudden you got this harsh criticism. And it's like, well, wait a minute, dude, I'm just trying to throw information out there, and he didn't even look at half of the stuff I sent because he already didn't like it.
Yeah, just to put this out there, this is nothing to do with like an occult. Like, I don't want to be. No one's completely right about everything. I haven't seen everything within this realm to say that everything I know is completely fact. But I'm just going with my senses and my consciousness and what I perceive to feel like the truth about things. That's all. And you know what? If I'm wrong about it all after, it's fine. I'll just learn about other stuff.
Well, hey, yeah.
But I'm just going on this journey like that. I'm quite happy to, really, as painful as it can be at times.
Yeah.
But nothing's easy, is it?
Yeah. And I want this channel to be a place where we can just chill and
you want flat earthers in here. You want
I would love it. Yeah, Paul.
Globers in here. Come on, like, just come in and just talk. Leave your ego out the door, and we'll all have a chat about it and stuff. And
if you guys got stuff you want to share, and in fact, I can even share my my StreamYard with people. So, and I'm going to start a little Discord and link it once I figure that out.
I'm happy to share it in the group as well. That you're on. And also, do you know what would be great? Like yourself, Rick. If you wanted to come back and do, because I think it deters people, doesn't it, when they see a link and it's like, I mean, we're 2 hours in almost now. Some people will be like,
we're about to wrap it up. But
to do like subjects on it and maybe just throw 20-minute episodes in or something. And
I'm gonna download this. So I'm gonna upload it to my channel. If you want me to just use you guys' first names, or that's cool, or what?
Either way. It's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but it's been It's been
Oh, good.
fun anyway.
Yeah.
Man, thank you guys for coming in, man. It's quite a surprise. I was just I haven't been live in a couple weeks, really. I usually go live just to.
Well, you'd messaged me a couple of times.
Yeah,
Sure.
I just always
Obviously,
put it out there.
we're in different times. Aren't
Yeah,
we?
I know, right?
So
Yeah,
I think one point I was like, well, it's like,
Oh.
well, I'm in bed.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then
Sorry
I
about
messaged
that.
you, and it was like 3:00 in the morning where
Yeah,
you are. And then I
all
think
the
last
way
time,
here in the southern hemisphere, and the flat earthers don't want to talk about this place.
see, you see a lot more.
Yeah.
You see a lot
Yeah,
more
I get
than
to
we do in the
get a-
northern hemisphere. And I went out last night with my camera because I
Get a good
love
view.
I love going out filming the stars and the moon. And when I went out there last night, and once the clouds clear, I was like, God, the stars look stunning. But I'm still aware that I don't see half of what there is.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I do only see half of what there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get the I get
the
the
clockwise
tree of
rotation.
life. The tree of life is up there, and the candy cane entrance to the vortex of everything circles around.
Yeah, we've got it.
But,
It's clockwise rotation, and then you're on the.
Yeah.
Well, I had this conversation with Craig, and he said, look, you're the ones that are upside down, not us.
Yeah, I know. I think he's right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
Let me just really quick before we go. Do you think so the analemma looks like that shape? Do you think possibly the Earth could be an egg?
Yeah,
Like
possibly. It could be a
giant
square
egg.
box. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of think of it as like a giant geode.
Right. Yeah.
Or what did Neil deGrasse Tyson? He reckons he's pear shaped.
Obloid.
He might have been telling us a bit of
Spheroid.
I think it's good to take the piss out of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like
it is like
actually
that,
a banana, and we're just hanging off the tree of life.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank God we're at least thinking about
whatever happens. You've questioned who you
Yeah.
are, where you come from, and where you live.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So at least you've had a go consciously. You've made a bit of effort to see past watching fucking Home and Away and Neighbours.
All right, you guys. I love you guys, man, and thanks for coming in.
Right, guys, brothers. Yeah,
Good
we'll
to
definitely
hook up
come again soon.
finally.
Anyway,
Look forward to
All
next
right,
time.
guys.
yeah, look forward to
Night.
it. Take
Later,
care.
Neil.
All right.
All right, guys.
Later.
Peace, Rick.
Later.
Bye, Neil.
See you later, bro.
Bye, mate. All right. Well, that was a surprise. That was a good conversation. Hope you enjoyed it. Are you still there, Pablo? Let me put on my glasses. Sorry, dude. I lost my glasses. So I can't even hardly see what's up. Oh man, I can't see nothing. I'm blind. Yeah. All right. Here, I'll catch up, bro. You're blocked in the LSC's chat. Like the story of the two wolves inside each person. One all things good, one all things evil. That one wins. The one you feed. I agree. I broke down. Yeah. I had some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Broke down, man. I'm trying to lose some weight. And that old KFC, it's you see those commercials and they just you tell yourself, I'm not gonna get it. The next thing you know, you're just in your car going to KFC. Bullshit. And the Helio removes the need for God to have created it, which allows people to choose to be good or bad. I agree. And yeah, I still struggle, man. Damn. You think knowing that God was real would help you. Well, it has. It has. I'm not as bad. But yeah, I still know that I'm a sinful son of a bitch. Anyone who says they're not is full of it. people knew God was 100% real, they would be good through fear, which would go against free will. Yeah. What is up, everyone? Hey, I'll put another link in there just in case someone wants to come in. Now we got 3 people. It's probably Rick and it's probably them watching. That's all right. Yeah, give me some views. Like and subscribe. Send this to all your friends, all your flat earth friends, or your Christian friends, or your atheist friends. Send it to all of them. Send it to your mama. Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, it was fun, Paul. Thanks for coming in, bro. It was really cool, dude. That was a good chat, dude. Right on. Hey, we're charging. But anyway, you guys, yeah, I better call it a night. It's starting to get late here. All right. Yeah, that's right on. 2 hours. That's perfect. Peace. You guys have a great night. I'll see you next time. Peace, Paul. See you over there in 247. I'll say hi. Bye, you guys.